Imagine a sound wave so powerful it could rupture your eardrums and rattle your ribcage from several meters away. A physical, invisible shockwave moving through the water, capable of causing a diver's arm to go completely numb for hours on end. Humans have never engineered anything with this exact combination of raw acoustic energy and biological precision. Yet an animal hunting in the pitch-black depths of our oceans has been generating this sound naturally for millions of years, aimed with the accuracy of a flashlight beam. And despite those predatory traits, this same creature possesses a startlingly recognizable social life. It has distinct regional accents, specific names for its family members, and it sleeps hanging perfectly upright in the open ocean like something out of a science fiction film. If these specific behaviors, naming, vertical sleep, and regional dialects, were documented in a life form on a moon like Europa, they would provide the exact evidence researchers look for when defining extraterrestrial intelligence. We've spent decades assuming the search for non-human intelligence meant pointing our instruments at the sky, waiting to catch a stray radio signal. But one of the most serious versions of that search is actually pointed straight down, into the ocean. To understand what we're dealing with, we have to apply the intellectual framework of astrobiology to a species living right here. Let's start with the sound, because the numbers are difficult to believe. A single sperm whale click has been measured at up to 236 decibels underwater. That is the loudest sound produced by any animal on Earth. For context, a commercial jet engine at takeoff is around 140 decibels in the air. While water is denser and the scales aren't identical, researchers say a click at close range is powerful enough to cause real physical harm. The documented case of a diver's arm going numb for hours after getting too close is a direct result of how biological tissue interacts with an acoustic force of that magnitude. This led biologist Kenneth Norris to propose a theory in the 1980s. He noticed that giant squid pulled from sperm whale stomachs frequently showed no bite marks or sign of a struggle. They had simply gone limp, leading Norris to suggest the whales were using their clicks as a physical weapon to stun prey from a distance. It's a compelling theory, but it failed when put to the test. When researchers subjected squid and fish to clicks at the whale's full recorded intensity for a study in the journal Nature, they were unable to stun or debilitate them. The mystery of how a male subdues prey that size, in complete darkness, thousands of feet down, is technically still unsolved. What is certain is how these intense clicks function socially. When they return to the surface, the whales produce patterned sequences called codas to communicate. A team called Project SETI has spent years documenting these exchanges off the coast of Dominica. They found that different family clans, spanning hundreds of individuals, use distinct regional dialects to identify their group. Within these clans, individuals use their own unique identifying click patterns. Marine biologists describe these patterns as functioning as personal names. This behavior relies on an established cultural framework passed between generations, operating independently of base biological instinct. This visualization shows what researchers at MIT and SETI discovered in 2024 when they applied machine learning to these recordings. They found microscopic contextual variations hidden inside the known click sequences. Whales adjust their sub-second timing dynamically during a conversation. They layer in extra clicks and shift their rhythm using patterns that researchers describe with musical terms like tempo and rubato. Then, in late 2025, the team found that individual clicks carry two acoustically distinct textures. These function like vowel sounds that are nearly impossible for a human ear to distinguish without assistance. These hidden variables suggest the roughly 150 known coda types are only a small part of a much larger communicative system. This level of complexity required machine learning to be discovered, because it operates beyond the limits of human sensory perception. And then there's how they sleep. They rest in short, vertical naps, hanging motionless in open water, their heads near the surface, their bodies pointed straight down. When pods drift together in complete silence, they hold a static, geometric formation that nothing else in the ocean maintains on its own. The first researchers to film it described the behavior as looking staged. It is a physical posture that defies typical oceanographic expectations. We are looking at a creature with the planet's largest brain, an unexplained physical capability, and a language containing personal names that we are only just beginning to parse. If we ever do talk to something that isn't human, there is a real chance it already has a name for itself, and we just haven't learned how to hear it yet. We've been looking at the stars for a sign of advanced life, while a sophisticated civilization has been living right alongside us in the deep.